Without further ado, please help me welcome Toastmaster Anas Mansoor. Over to you, Anas.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Thank you so much, Mr. Toastmaster of the evening, for a very kind introduction. Distinguished guests and fellow Toastmasters, how many of you believe that the power of negotiation is one of the most important weaponry that you can have in your arsenal these days? Yes, almost all of us agree. There were times in our history where all the differences and scores were settled on the field of battle. Then human became smarter and they figured out that if you can get all the benefit without actually some of the most important things in life, just like life itself, then there's no point in going for war. And hence the age of negotiation started. Personally, I had grasped the meaning of negotiation at a very, very young age. And it was one of my dear cousins who was my age fellow back then. And you know what that negotiation type was? I went on to win all the negotiations and I end up winning everywhere. And that was the power of crying. When I was very little, whenever I wanted anything, I started to cry. And in few minutes, there were people, loved ones coming from all around and saying, "Oh, kya hua? Isko de do," and all that. It worked for many years. That was a master key that I had. But time never remains the same. After a few years, everyone had got this understanding about my technique, and especially my father. He was a strict man. He really used to get annoyed when someone starts to cry. So there was a complete ban, embargo on crying. I had lost most important resource at my disposal. So what I did next, for years and years, I suffered because there was no one who came to me and educated me about these tips and tricks that I'm about to share with you in this speech. Before moving ahead, it's very important to understand that what are various sort of outcomes of a negotiation. It can end up in a win-win situation. For example, all of your friends have good mobile phones and you also want a latest iPhone or Samsung mobile. You go to your father and ask him, but he says, okay, but first you have to get straight A's. Now it's a win-win situation for both of you. Second type can be a win-lose situation. You were playing cricket, you broke the mirror of your neighbors, and your father had asked you to fix that window with your own resources. Now you're on the losing side, and there are certain negotiations which end up both the parties losing the cause. So it's important to first differentiate and then on to move on to the actual strategies that can be very helpful in making sure that you end up getting the best possible result. First of all, whenever you are in a negotiation with someone, first few minutes are vital, absolutely vital. Do not rush with your objectives and try to force them on others. First, take a pause and try to listen. What other party, what strong points the other party has. It will help you figure out exactly where you want them to come in order to reach your own objectives. Because at the end of the day, you want yourself to succeed. Secondly, always be respectful and impersonal. Never ever taunt. For example, if you want to go outside and you want the brand new car of your brother, be polite. Say, brother, you're looking very nice. Can I get your car? I will make sure that I will return it in the same condition. So be polite. Whenever you are in negotiations, try to be polite and impersonal. Third point is appreciate someone's positive move. If someone has withdrawn from their initial position, you have to appreciate it. If you really want to succeed and take this negotiation to the next level, appreciate it. The next point is know what you want exactly and at what level of leniency you want to show in order to achieve that target. If you want a brand new mobile, then your father might ask you anything. And if you're willing for it, you should first figure out in yourself that whether it's worth it or not. So always be clear in your head. And timing is also of essence. The best part of negotiation is often the morning when people start fresh and the energy level is high. It's often the best part to start negotiation. The art of negotiation is one of the most important aspect that we can learn from our lives in order to succeed, just like public speaking. As they say, Uftar Kagazi, Le Gya Bazi. Over to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Anas. A round of applause for Toastmaster Anas.